aging and death. Even next life, same. Next life, same. So therefore, so what's the point of perpetuating this life? Perpetuating this life, the next life, next life, and so forth. Okay. If this is a story, sickness, aging, death, and so forth, if this is the story, and this is not confined to one person, two persons, it's for all of us, it's a matter of time. Right? If this is how we have to go to life after life after life, it's totally so tiring, so meaningless. How to bring an end to this? Okay, this is what we need to reflect on. We need to reflect on the efficacy of the karma and its effects. And number two, in terms of the miseries which we go through, sickness, aging, death, which is totally unending in the future lives as well. So there's nothing really there in the future lives as long as we're in the dream. There's nothing good there in this dream. So what is a really good thing is to wake up from this dream, stop this dream. Okay. So number three, that the stanza number three is the reason. Is the reason as to why we need to cultivate renunciation. Number four is how to cultivate renunciation. Renunciation to this life, renunciation to the future lives. And number five, what is measure? The stanza five, number three. Stanza five, number three. What is the measure of having cultivated renunciation? So if you reflect on these points, then at one point, can I say that I have now obtained, say, having generated a genuine renunciation. So what's that? A stanza 5, it reads, contemplating thus, wherein for an instant you do not admire the splendors of psychic existence. So existence, and remain intent on liberation. Liberation meaning to liberate from the sickness, aging, death of the samsara. Liberation day and night. Renunciation is born in you then. Okay. So at times we may get the feeling, okay, renunciation, then they say we have no attachment to my family and so forth. This is not the point. And the point is that you see that whether in the family, outside the family, in the family, outside the family, with wealth, without wealth, whatever, the feeling of having a sense of obsession, that is what binds me in samsara. That must be liberated. In family, outside family, and in fact, if you're so wise, you can be in the family. Not only that, you can have this feeling of no obsession to life, and oftentimes people speak about detachment. So this can be very misleading. Oh, I'm detached from my family. This is not really okay. If you're following personal liberation teaching, personal liberation practice, which means I want to have liberation for myself, then it's understandable. Okay, if you say this, I have no comment. But if you're following the minor teaching whereby you want to eradicate afflictive obscurations as well as the cognitive obscurations, whereby you want to achieve the total awakening, whereby you want to benefit all beings, then say wanting to detach yourself from the family is not really a nice idea. If you cannot really show affection to your immediate family, how can you think of working for all beings? To be very practical. So now the wisest thing to do is that instead of detaching yourself, okay, now I don't care about you, right? Or your mom, okay, the husband, wife, children, no, I don't care about you, I'm meditation, right? If this is your attitude, we are going wrong somewhere. Finally, the Buddha's teaching is grounded on compassion. Where is your compassion? Even if you are seeking personal liberation, compassion is the ground. And for the Buddhists of the path, compassion is the beauty, the strength, and the main trunk of the practice. So for that matter, what we can do is instead of detaching yourself, expand your love and affection. The love and affection that you already have towards your family, not only you maintain it, you nurture it further. You nurture this further, strengthen this further, and expand it to others. Expand it to others. Then at one point, you will love all beings. When you love all beings, the bias stops. You agree with me? At the moment, the love that you have towards your family members, why people talk about the detachment is because there's a bias involved. I love my parents, I love my children, but my neighbor's children, okay, fine, right? So there's a bias there. Now, so to remove the bias, some people, they think of detaching. Detaching, the little love, quality of love that you have, you remove that. This is wrong. So the wisest thing to do is, instead of removing that, expand it. Expand it so that the bias will automatically dissolve. You expand it, and there are methods to expand it. You expand it to infinite beings so that you don't find anybody who's your enemy. Right? And then the bias stops. Bias means I love some and I don't like others. This is a bias. Now there's no category for whom you love, those who you dislike. No, there's no division there. Your love pervades to everyone. This is known as the unconditional love. This is very beautiful. Okay, so with this in mind, the point is total obsession to this life and to the next life. You slowly, with this reflection, you stop it, and then you see that, okay, wherever in life, this life, future life, whatever, the fun is self-grasping, is seeing the dream as real. This is a problem. Seeing the dream as real. This is a problem. Okay, when you realize this, and then you just want to wake up. I want to wake up. I want to wake up. I want to wake up. That feeling very strongly comes to you day and night. That is the real renunciation. That is the time when you generate the renunciation. Okay, so let me read this again, stanza 5. Contemplating thus, when for an instant you do not admire the splendors of cyclic existence, everything what I see of the splendors of cyclic existence, they are nothing but coming from my own mind. And remain intent on liberation, that I must be liberated from seeing the dream as real. Right? Seeing the dream as real. Seeing the splendors of the samsara as, the splendor of samsara as my mental creation. Okay. Day and night, renunciation is born in you then. Now the next. What is next? Hey, what is next? Bodhicitta. Okay. So now at this point, what happens is that your train, your mind as the train, you have now stopped going towards the precipice. It has stopped. After stopping this train should go to the opposite direction, right? To the opposite direction. Don't stop and remain inactive. Right? The train stop and stop forever. Don't stop there. Your job is to go back to the happiness, to the picnic spot. For that, you have to stop moving. You have to start moving. The mind first, activeness in terms of aggression, harming others and so forth. Seeing the dream is real. And then involuntary pull and push happens. That aggression stops. After stopping that, then deliberately go out to embrace others with love and affection. Okay, so bodhicitta, this beautiful practice. So oftentimes, what I say is that in this world, if there's one mind which is most fearless in nature, it is the wisdom of emptiness. In this world, let me say this again. In this world, if there's one mind which is most fearless in nature, you have this one mind just arising within you, you feel so fearless. That is the wisdom of emptiness. In this world, if there is a mind which is most beautiful, you feel it, you hold your body cells, they relax. If there is one mind in this world, the mere experience makes your whole body, every cell of the body relax. It is a bodhicitta, the most beautiful mind that exists in this universe is the bodhicitta. This unconditional love of the bodhicitta, which does not see the difference between your own child and somebody else. You don't see the difference. It's beautiful. Okay, so this mind is so precious. It is for this reason that the Bodhisattva Shantideva, in his book, Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life, he gave the metaphor of a beautiful metaphor. Say, in our house, if there are so many, the useless tins, metallic objects to be dumped, and suddenly somebody brings a gold-making elixir, the ambrosia, gold-making solution. We apply this solution to these useless metals, and all these metals become gold. Right? Are we going to still dump the metals? No, the metals are gold. They're so expensive now. Right? What makes this metal gold? Because of the elixir, gold-making elixir. Likewise, the body that we have, which is so prone to sickness, aging, death. If you don't get the food for a few hours, you feel acute hunger. No water in the scorching sun. Under scorching sun, you feel so thirsty. The moment somebody pricks with a needle, it's so painful. And then in the winter, not in... It also sometimes it's cold. Right?
Not too much.
Not too much. Okay, let's say somewhere in Ladakh, in Himalaya, right? So the body is so weak, it cannot bear the cold. And then Delhi, 47 degrees centigrade, right? You cannot bear the heat. How weak a body is. The speech, worse. Just say something, the speech is like a thorns. Right? They just offend others so easily. Right? And then sometimes we are so unintentional offend others so easily. For example, say two people come, A and B, and A looks so nice. Oh, you look nice, so nice. You are so good. You are good. Oh, what about B? In a way, you are saying that B is not nice. Unintentionally, we are being so unskilled, so unaware of how we can easily offend others. This is a speech, and the mind is even worse. Right? This is who we are, body, speech, and mind. Like the useless tins, the metals. With the bodhicitta, the elixir of the bodhicitta, you practice this, you experience the bodhicitta there. This body becomes the divine body of the Buddhas. The speech of yours, anybody hears your speech, everybody will feel such a pleasant joy hearing your voice. And then the mind, anybody feels your love, anybody feels your wisdom, they just are lost in awe, they just like to embrace you. This is what becomes of the body, speech, mind if we subject the body, speech, mind to this most beautiful mind of the bodhicitta. So he said that who on this earth, a wise person, would not cherish this bodhicitta, which has the capacity to change your body, speech, and mind, which are otherwise so useless and meaningless, now into priceless. The values of the enlightenment is so beautiful. Okay, so what I would say is that I'm sure, I know each one of us, we really want to have the experience of happiness. We really want to feel the joy of embracing others. We really want to feel the joy of somebody else embracing us. We really want to feel that. If you really want to feel that, the one thing that can really make it happen is the bodhicitta practice of unconditional love towards others. This is so beautiful, so beautiful. And this is something which is achievable, attainable. We can achieve that. It's a matter of the practice. And there are two basic methods, practices there. Okay, so I'm not too sure during the 3-day the residential program. I'm not too sure if we can cover all these 2 methods, but those of you who are interested, I would say that there are many materials available, and so there are very good books by His Holiness the Dalai Lama there, and various materials there, and also that these teachings are all available from bodhiwisdom.org. bodhiwisdom.org. They are all available from there, and from the past Bodhicitta retreats, from the Yagyan the kibbutz, from there, and also in Tibet House in many other places. All these recordings are available there on bodhiwisdom.org, bodhiwisdom.org, bodhiwisdom.org. Okay. The point is, if you practice it, and for sure we can expect. We practice that in a few weeks or few months, then you start feeling this unconditional love. No, it's not like that. It'll take time. It'll take time. Once you start feeling that, it's amazing practice. It's amazing practice. The whole quality of your life changes. You become a very happy person. You may meet with very difficult, say, the tragedies and situations. Your mind will not be as much disturbed. It's beautiful practice. Okay, this is achievable. It's something achievable. Okay. So the reason why a bodhicitta has to be practiced, the reason, page 51, stanza 6. Again, the same pattern. The reason to cultivate bodhicitta, number 2. How to cultivate bodhicitta, number 3. The measure of having cultivated bodhicitta. First, the reason, stanza 6. Renunciation, if not tempered by the pure mind of bodhicitta, however, will not bring forth the perfect bliss of unsurpassed enlightenment. Finally, if somebody asks you, what degree of happiness do you want? 10%, 20%, 30%, what degree of happiness do you want? What's the answer? If possible, 100%, right? This is what we seek, right? This is what we seek. If you really want this 100% happiness, full awakening, 100% happiness or the full awakening, then this is known as the perfect bliss of unsurpassed enlightenment. Enlightenment beyond which there's no level, right? This level you can experience only if you have bodhicitta. Renunciation alone cannot take you there. Renunciation can at the most take you to partial awakening, which is fearlessness or nirvana. It cannot take you to the full awakening or Buddhahood. Okay. Therefore, the wise ones, right? The wise ones generate the excellent mind of bodhicitta. Therefore, the wise people must cultivate the excellent mind of bodhicitta. And I remember, oftentimes His Holiness in his teachings, public teachings, what he says is that in the Tibetan tradition, there are so many practices meant to eject your mind at the time of death, to eject your mind and liberate you to the pure land of the Buddhas. There's so many practices there. But what is efficacy? This is the question. What is the efficacy? It depends on, like the Sarva clan, 2 hands. It's not just this teaching, but also the individual person. Individual person makes the difference. So he says that although there are these things, but how efficacious they are, they're all questionable. But what one is so sure, one thing which we can be so sure is that if you practice bodhicitta, if you practice this unconditional love of bodhicitta, closer to the time of death, if you can practice this on a daily basis and your mind starts to improve, that guarantees that your mind will be ejected to a very pure land or to a very healthy, the favorable states in the future lives. Guarantee. This is what His Holiness says. And in this connection, I'd like to share a very interesting anecdote that happened at the time of the Buddha. Once there was an elderly lady, elder lady who was suffering from leprosy. Meaning, you know what leprosy is? Where, if not taken care of, Zarat. Okay, so if not taken care of, your fingers will drop. Your fingers will drop like, you know. Okay, so there was this elder lady who was badly suffering from leprosy, and she was holding a ball of porridge. And while she was standing there, she would see one monk there. And the monk, just by seeing the monk, she was just lost in admiration and devotion and respect. And the monk happened to have clairvoyance. Then seeing what was going in the mind of the leprosy lady, the monk went straight to the lady and then raised his begging ball, alms ball, and requested, please give me something. And the lady said, I'll be so happy to give whatever I have, but I'm suffering from leprosy. And this is a problem I have. And he said, never mind, please give me. She was so happy. Then whatever she had in her ball, she started to pour it in his ball. In the process, one of her fingers dropped in his ball. Then the lady started to freak. She started to freak. What have I done? Now this monk will be so angry towards me, right? For this. And the monk, sensing what was going in her mind, just from his ball, he just picked up the finger, kept it aside. In front of the lady, he consumed this. And the lady was so awestruck with the feeling of love and affection, compassion of this monk. Because of this incredible intensity of the feeling of admiration and the compassion of the monk, this lady passed away, died. The moment she died, because of this incredible admiration, compassion, great value, compassion of somebody else, this lady on the spot accumulated this admiration itself is an incredible the virtuous karma, positive action. And this action drove her to take birth, instantly took birth in the goddess realm, in the realm of the god and goddess. Instantly. The god and goddess, unlike the human beings, we don't have to go through the 9 months in the mother's womb. It's just like the illusory birth there, meaning that instantly you're there, you just take the full form of the physical form of the god and goddess, and then you have the clairvoyance. With the clairvoyance, she wondered, okay, what made me just immediately, just a few seconds before what I'm now, I was in the human realm. Now I'm in the God realm. What made me to take birth? What good thing that I did that made me to take birth as the goddess now? She just reflected through her clairvoyance, and she realized that it was because of the virtue of the admiration and compassion. When she passed, immediately before she passed as the elderly lady, and due to her admiration, love and affection, compassion from the monk, this goddess was so lost in admiration. So what she did was that, wow, it's amazing. This old lady, who actually myself was, I did something so great. I admired the compassion of somebody. Now I'm enjoying this amazing birth. So I must revere, I must go to revere this old lady's body. So she went there to throw flowers to this old lady's body, which actually, of course, herself. So the point is that this is this is the kind of the love and affection demonstrated. So the point is that the compassion and love is something that if we can really practice it, then closer towards the time of death, if we can practice it, This will guarantee that you will have a favorable birth. Meeting with Dharma and favorable birth, all these things happen as a result of the practice of the unconditional love of bodhicitta. Okay, now the next point. So this is, the point is that while we aspire to achieve the maximum happiness, the only way by which to do that is by cultivating the bodhicitta, right? And this bodhicitta is so beautiful practice. It's a beautiful practice. And we practice this. If you practice this, you will see the development within yourself. You will see the development within yourself. And oftentimes, personally, one of my, just to share you, to make it, say, the more living. If you ask me, what is your, oftentimes, because I travel a lot, some of my friends, they ask me the question. What questions? Oh, you travel a lot. Which is the best place in the world? What is the best food? These are the worst of the questions. I feel the most bored. I feel so bored when I hear these questions. Because for me, wherever I go, it's much more the same. Right? But if someone asks me, what is your favorite thing to do? If someone asks me this question, then I would be very happy to answer. What is your favorite thing to do? It's just to see the dynamics of the mother and the child. Just to see the beautiful love and affection, genuine love and affection of the mother and the child. This, when I see, I can spend hours and hours to see that. Right? Then I admire how wonderful that would be if I could feel the same feeling of love and affection the way this mother feels towards the child, if I could feel towards all sentient beings. Right? Say, when you don't feel that, somebody says that, hey, why are you staring at me like this? Who are you to say like this? This is our response. Whereas if the child says the same thing to the mother, mother will embrace the child. If the child is very passive, when the mother will describe the child as, my child is so tender and gentle. If the child is very active and naughty, my child is so active. Right? It's a beautiful way of looking at things. Whereas, when the love is missing, the child is very active and so forth, we say he's so mischievous. When the child is very tender and soft, it's so passive, so dull. This is how we describe when the love is missing. When you have this love, how you see things is very different. Which is more beautiful? Which makes you happier to see that, oh, this child is so tender, soft, or this child is dull. Which makes you, when do you feel, which of the two ways you think will make you happier? When you are positive, oh, this child is very tender, kind, tender, gentle. That makes you your mind is not disturbed, it's dull. Right? It's very mischievous, naughty. The mind is disturbed. Finally, what we want is happiness. So therefore, what makes us happiness? What gives us happiness is just change the outlook. Put in the lens of the bodhicitta, you will see the beautiful, everything is beautiful. It's so beautiful thing, right? Okay. Okay, now the next point is how to cultivate this beautiful mind of the bodhicitta, how to cultivate this. There are two methods. One is known as the sevenfold cause-effect method. Sevenfold, F-O-L-D. Sevenfold cause-effect method. And the other one is method of equalizing and exchanging self for others. Okay, let me say this again. The two methods are there to cultivate this unconditional. And this, even if you think that, oh no, this is like the fairy tales. No, that's not true. Even though your natural tendency, your natural reaction or the tendency towards other people is like a little bit judgmental and then biased towards your children, towards your parents, towards your brother, sister, and little, so being indifferent towards others. Even though this is what you feel as a natural tendency, but this is not who you are. This is not your real tendency. This is not your real inherent quality.